Welcome, everybody, and good afternoon. My name is Tim Arter. I am the president and welcome you as both members and guests. Today's program will be a presentation introducing our new Environment Committee. We will do the Pledge of Allegiance, and that will be followed by a reflection from Myra Dutton. We will do the four-way test at the end of the meeting. At this time, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Myra?
Good afternoon, everyone. Hey. My favorite, I'm going to ask you all to close your eyes and take a minute to rest. Will you do that for me? Okay, and then my favorite affirmation says, today is a beautiful day of opportunity. I am exactly where I need to be. I open myself to the universe and trust in the unfolding of my life. We don't know what will come tomorrow. We only know that when we look back at the path of our lives, it has brought us here to this place, this moment, and these people. Sometimes the path has been rough. There have probably been times when you didn't think you could even take one more step. Times when the light was hidden and it felt like the sunshine would never return. Times when the waves crashed all around you and you were afraid. But the light always returns. If the waves are high, you can spend your peace and energy thrashing frantically. Or you could relax and enjoy the journey. Let the waves carry you to your next adventure, your next challenge, your next destination, your next moment. And if you see another human being nearby, reach for their hand. Keep reaching out until you have created a raft of comfort and strength. We are each given an opportunity every day to make the world a little better, to bring kindness and peace, to help amplify the voice of a person who's not being heard, to protect life in all its amazing variety. Every person has a place and a purpose. In my work with persons with different abilities, I've been blessed to know so many people who have helped me see the world through a different lens, from a different perspective. It is humbling and awe-inspiring to walk beside them on this journey of life, to reach out my hand and be a part of this raft of humanity. They help me remember that today is a beautiful day of opportunity. You are exactly where you need to be. Open yourself to the universe and trust in the unfolding of your life.
Okay, with that, nice job, Myra. Please enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back with you in a short while. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, I would like to call forward the Rotarians and guests and any visiting Rotarians for introductions. Yes, guests. I may not have followed Mike's advice to speak directly into the microphone.
I also maybe was chatting. So. Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi Seitzema, and I'm excited to have a guest, Katie Felver, with me today. This is her very first Rotary meeting ever, so also the very best Rotary meeting she's ever been to. She is a business advisor with Hungerford, which is a full-service business advising outfit, which has offices in Grand Rapids and Muskegon and beyond, but she serves those two parts of the community. And their Muskegon office is located out in the airport business park. So glad to have Katie here today.
Good afternoon, Rotary. Come on over. So, good news, bad news. Bad news is summer is coming to an end. I'm sorry, but the good news is we have student guests back in the house. And we are starting off with a school I like to call my alma mater. West Michigan Christian is here, so cheer. That was louder than the applause for Heidi, which is what I really wanted. To introduce two of the seniors is Christina Martin. She is the academic advisor at the high school.
Thank you for letting us be guests today. Like Marty said, summer is coming to an end, but with that we have a wonderful school year happening for these two amazing, distinguished students. Cross country, soccer, college football for any of you that are big fans. So I have Malia Medendorp here and I have Matthias Morse, and I'm going to hand it over to them because you don't want to hear me speak. They're the ones that are here, really the guests. So here you go.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for having us. My name is Malia Medendorp and I'm a senior at Western Michigan Christian. And some of the things that I do there are I'm on the varsity soccer team in the spring, as well as I am on student council. I'm currently running for secretary. I'm also the editor of the yearbook, and I'm on the chapel leadership team. And then next year, I am applying to a few different schools, but my top school choice is Cornerstone University, where I plan on studying secondary education with an emphasis in English and a minor in creative writing, and I would really like to play soccer there as well.
I just want to say thanks for having us too. My name's Matthias. I'm a senior at WMC as well. Some clubs I'm in at school, I'm on the worship team at school. I play acoustic guitar, lead guitar, and that's tons of fun because we can lead the entire school in worship, so we have tons of fun with that. I'm also in Green Machine, which essentially is like the student group that comes to the games and cheers the athletes on, and we have tons of fun with that. Let's see, I'm also in cross country. That's probably my biggest thing that defines me. I'm in cross country, and track and field, of course. What's actually super exciting about me is I got the school record last year in the 800 run. Thank you. And I'm hoping to run in college. College undecided, but because it really depends on my major and what my major likes. I really like engineering all the way to like the medical field, and then biology falls somewhere in between there. So I actually really have no idea what I want to do here, but I don't know. We'll see.
Go.
At this time, I'll ask Melissa Horton to come forward and introduce our today's speaker.
Today we have two speakers, and so they're two of our own Rotarians, and they're going to tell us about the exciting new club that we're going to have. So Mr. Pete DeBoer is a Spring Lake native now living on the correct side of the county line. Pete is a Western Michigan University grad, and he studied biology and environmental studies. He spent 17 years working for two different land conservancies on the western side of the state. After attending numerous community foundation events, they decided that they might as well employ him since he showed up anyways. So for the past 5 years, he has been on the development and donor services team at the Community Foundation, advising donors and nonprofits on the best way to invest in and leave a legacy for Muskegon County. Pete also serves on the statewide board of the Heart of the Lakes Conservation Organization and on 2 different committees of the Land Conservancy of West Michigan. He's also a proud staff lead of Lead Muskegon Giving Circle at the Community Foundation with a focus on leading efforts against discrimination. Andrea Riegler is a Muskegon native who moved away for about 10 years to pursue degrees in architecture at the University of Michigan and University of Colorado. Nobody knows that one. Returning in 2003. She is currently employed by SEH of Michigan as a senior architect manager with an office in the Core Plaza here in downtown Muskegon, and she has enjoyed working with a variety of local community organizations and businesses to provide architectural services throughout the past 20-plus years. Andrea loves living and working downtown and enjoys spending her time with her 3 children, Jackson, who took after her mom and is a U of M grad, Anna, a MSU grad, and Elliot, who is a junior at MSU this year. Andrea also enjoys spending time with her partner, Joel Camp, his sweet elementary school children, Cadence and Keith, and her 13-year-old purebred yellow dog, Trisket. She is excited to co-chair the Environment Committee with Pete and looks forward to educating and learning from other interested club members.
Hello, everyone. So I just want to give a shout out to those WMC kids that were up here because it is a little intimidating. You guys did great. Well, as Melissa said, I'm an architect with SEH, and I have a pretty strong focus in historic preservation, and we'll talk more about that later. But my interest in this environment committee comes from a lot of different angles. Actually, my son Jackson, the U of M grad, has his own business recycling plastic into shirts. So, and he's had that for quite a while. So, yeah, you pretty much heard most about me, but I'll give it over to Pete and let him talk a little bit, and I'll be back in a minute.
Mike, I think we can go to our first slide. So this is a new committee that we have at Rotary that we're putting together locally, but from a, oh yeah, you heard about me, right? Melissa gave you, and I'll talk more about myself, but you heard about that, I'll talk. So this is something that Rotary International really looks at as something that they want to invest in, and they encourage local clubs to get in there and invest in this. So, and what Andrea is saying, what she'll talk about, is really interesting. We come from it from a couple of different perspectives. Me more the environment side, and Andrea more the sustainability side. So it is the environmental and sustainability committee. So with that, we're going to look at what Rotary International is laying out as foundational pillars. This first one, fostering harmony between communities and environment. What we did, and we're gonna start big, and then we're gonna go down to some local stuff. And what we hope this does is spur some ideas for all of you, because at the end, we're gonna say, hey, we've got our eye on a few of you, but we would love more people to come in to the Environmental and Sustainability Committee with us. So that's the first pillar that we'll talk about. Operation Pollination is something actually relatively local. Lansing Rotary Club, close to us here, took this on. So you can see the monarch here, really looking at installing these pollination native plant gardens within the city of Lansing. It's great. Right, so it's not only pretty, it is looking at native plants which have a healthier root system, stronger root system than the traditional lawn. But also what it's doing, and I learned this from a book, Doug Tallamy, who's a professor at University of Delaware. We have pushed out, as a society in America, we have pushed out, right? So if you think about the landscape 30 years ago, but especially 50, 100 years ago, we lived in pockets, right? We lived in cities. There are some rural areas. Farmers had big farms, right? 80 acres, 160 acres, these bigger farms. But if you look at the landscape now, a lot of us are connected, right? We go on drives And we see things, we see houses all the time. So we have looked at and found out that, yeah, we're living in 2 5-acre blocks. What this does is actually bring, and the book by Talamy talks about, we need to do this because we have lost some of those areas within our rural environment. We need to support the species that are living in here. So think about bugs, think about monarch butterflies. So this is something that the Rotary Club in Lansing took on, which we hope is an inspiration here. This one's actually from Australia, and what they have done, I think it's Victoria? I don't know my Australian. Oh, notes, how about that? So this is something that Rotary International Australia Club took on, and so they were throwing a ton of these plastic materials into the landfill, right? So they started a program where they're actually shipping these playground materials to areas that don't have these things available. So looking at just keeping it, not only is it keeping it out of the landfill, it is giving kids throughout the world, thank you, throughout the world, some of these things that would just simply go to waste otherwise. So this caught our eye as well. And then this one is actually in the Four Corners area of the Southwest, looking at these Navajo solar lights. So the Navajo reservation is huge. I forget the acreage on it, but it is massive. There are a lot of people living there that don't have any power. So they are looking at solar lights as small as a baking sheet that they can attach to their house to provide them with more energy, to make that native jewelry, to simply live better. So that's something where Rotary was a part of this, but there's a lot of collaboration on this one as well. So these are just a few of the bigger projects, or the projects that we saw from a Rotary International standpoint that caught our eye. Is this you?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I wasn't following the notes.
Yeah, you're so good at off the cuff, but I'm not, but, so I'm gonna use my notes. So this just is another tenet of the Rotary International Environment Committee. And as Pete said, we just wanted to emphasize that this committee was started at an international level. I believe it was in 2020 that they, at the Rotary International level, they made this kind of the 7th tenet, which was environment. So Pete and I, as he said, both come at this from a little bit of a different angle, which is really cool that we get to collaborate on this, be each other's rafts. Right, Myra? Right. Pete's was, or is, continues to be with the Land Conservancy. He used to work for them, but now is still involved. And from my perspective, I've done a lot of work with the National Park Service, and you would think that that's just, out visiting national parks, but it has to do with historic preservation. So the National Park Service is the government entity that delegates the National Historic Register and the national tax credits. And so I've done a lot of work with historic buildings that historically, people might think that a historic building is not energy efficient and a burden on our communities. And actually, that is very far from the truth. Am I hitting the wrong button? There we go. So, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is a quote by an architect, Carl Elefante, and we also have a photo here of Charleston, South Carolina, where the United States historic preservation movement started. And he said the greenest building is the one that's already built. So I remember hearing a presentation about this, and I was really interested in the history of all of these buildings that I was learning about, but I didn't really understand the link to sustainability. And I went and I heard this conference. I heard him speak at a conference, and it kind of blew me away. He talked about how approximately 23% of all landfill content in the United States is from construction and demolition, and 80% of that is from concrete and asphalt. And approximately 90% of the waste from construction and demolition is from demolition rather than construction. So, where you don't really think about saving a building, whether it's something you call being beautiful or not, as being sustainable, it really is this embodied energy. So Carl was one of the architects that worked with another architect, Bill McDonough, and they worked on the Dana building at the University of Michigan.
They're waiting.
I can tell you're listening. So they took this building that was built in 1903, and it really, they followed these specific rules from the U.S. Green Building Council, and they made it the first gold LEED certified building in Michigan for this type of building. So what that means is they looked at solar panels, they looked at ventilation, they opened up skylights that weren't there before. And the architect that they worked with, Bill McDonough, also is very well known for this building, which is the Herman Miller, Miller Knoll now, greenhouse in Holland, Michigan. I had the opportunity to go visit this, and this is another thing that we don't realize sometimes how important West Michigan has been in the history of green buildings, and this is one example of that. So the interesting thing about this building is that it really was the kind of beginning of a lot of interest in the architectural community about sustainable buildings. And this was built in 1995, and it helped set the standards for the LEED movement, which was, excuse me, the movement that I spoke about, that the Dana building was gold certified. We have one here in Muskegon. I'm not sure what level it is, but that's the Chamber of Commerce building. That is a LEED certified building as well. So this building, the cool thing about this building is that it was only $10 more per square foot to make it LEED certified, but in the first year of operation, they saved $35,000 on their energy bill, and within 5 years, they doubled production. This is, it has a bunch of skylights, and it's a manufacturing facility. And lastly, Bill McDonough is the architect that did the greenhouse building. He wrote, along with a chemist, Michael Braungart, they wrote a book called Cradle to Cradle. And this really talks about a circular economy. I'm going to read this because I want to make sure to get it right. We are going to give more presentations on this kind of stuff. We just wanted to get you a little bit interested so you join us in our committee. So they presented an integration of design and science that provides enduring benefits for society from safe materials, water and energy, and circular economies, and eliminates the concept of waste. The book, Cradle to Cradle, it was given to me by my late uncle, which is just like so near and dear to my heart. It's actually printed on a material that can be recycled, like washed and reprinted. So kind of a neat thing. The concept is that in nature, the waste of one system is food for another. And so if you look at those two circular portions, The cradle-to-cradle concept looks like a biological cycle, so that you could take a building apart and eventually have it put back into the soil, which then gives you new building materials. And also from a technical cycle where you could just take the materials out and then make something new of it. Okay.
I won't spend too much time on this. So Land Conservancy West Michigan, you've heard that name a couple of times. They cover Saugatuck up to Ludington on the coast, obviously containing Muskegon County here. And this is the number of projects that they've done. Pretty impressive. They have land protection projects, which we'll talk a little bit about, which is actually protecting the land. A lot of the time that I spent there was creating glorified deed restrictions that are a lot stronger, that keeps the properties, the private properties, in a natural state, more or less. And then they have nature preserves, areas where you can get your boots out on the ground. Probably the closest one here is Anderson Woods, which is actually ADA accessible. And then some other areas of community projects that we'll talk a little bit about. So these are two projects that the Land Conservancy was involved with that I think is the really cool part. So Lost Lake on the left there, that abuts the Luge Adventure Park. It's part of the state park as well. So this was a project that the Land Conservancy worked with the DNR. It's in DNR ownership. A lot of times these government entities cannot raise money for themselves, not because they don't want to, but their bylaws restrict it. So they bring in the Land Conservancy or a group like them. Land trusts are throughout the state, throughout the country, to help them with that arm of it, right? So the DNR wanted to purchase this property. They were able to apply for a Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund grant, and then the Land Conservancy assisted them in doing that. Another cool point about Lost Lake is that it has one of the 3 carnivorous plants that are here in Michigan. They have a pitcher plant, which actually, think of Feed Me Seymour, right? That actually takes the bug and eats it. Pretty cool stuff. And then Dune Harbor Park. We've heard a lot about this one. Tremendous project. This is one that the county took the lead on. Acquired this with the Land Conservancy's assistance. It's an old sand mining site, right? It was mined for 100 years, right? At the end of Sherman Boulevard. And now we have access to it because the county stepped up and preserved it. Shout out Bob Lukens and Mark at the county. They've got some other things that are kind of bubbling up as possibilities as well. So these community projects are tremendous because they allow public access to all of us at the end. Microforest, is this you? Yeah, Andrew's back.
Okay. I'm kidding. I even wore my heels today. So, there's been a lot of talk from Doug Wood and John Noling and Dave Alexander, and I'm probably going to forget some people about the Marquette Microforest. And this is just a fabulous community project that really fits the advancing ecological sustainability goal of Rotary International. We're doing some work tomorrow for the United Way Day of Caring. And if you haven't had a chance to get out there and get your hands dirty, I encourage you to do that. It's a really fabulous project that we will continue to support through our committee. This is one of the other tenants that we talked about. And then we're just going to talk about, just real briefly, because we're almost done here. So our goal as a committee is to not reinvent the wheel. We really want to lean on the grassroots organizations around the area that are already doing this stuff. I say grassroots and governmental. We have a lot of people that are involved in pursuing and promoting and educating already about these kind of goals. So one of those people, or one of those groups, is the West Michigan Shoreline Redevelopment Commission. I don't know if Erin's here today, but she's a Rotarian and the director. They supported this kindergartners from Pennsylvania Elementary that went to the microforest. Want to take this one? Okay. This is an event that's sponsored by the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership, Conservation District, Mona Lake Watershed, and Michigan Clean Water Corps. And you can sign up to do some stream monitoring here. So this is just another local group that's doing some really wonderful work in the environment space.
All right, so, and then this Justice 40 initiative, which is a relatively new one with the County Environmental Coordinating Council, West Michigan Sustainable Business Forum. This is just starting out, but man, I went to this one, Naomi Davis out of Chicago, working on a square mile within Chicago, right? You don't think of Chicago as being green, right? But these things are happening all over the place. Naomi has taken a square mile of her neighborhood. It's actually where the Obama Library is going. And so that's the area of Chicago that she is in. If you get a chance, if she comes back, go listen to her. Man, she is inspiring. One of the things that they did, they actually took a little bit of what Andrea was talking about. Mamie Till's house was in her neighborhood. So where Emmett Till lived until he died when he was 13 is in that neighborhood. It was basically abandoned. This Blacks and Green group, which Naomi Davis leads, actually took that house and is now a museum. We can go there. Along with that, restoring that area or that house, they've done a lot of these neighborhood gardens, these community gardens that are encouraging native plants, native butterflies, bugs, those sorts of things within Chicago. So these things are happening all over the place, right? Don't just think about Sleeping Bear Dunes when you think about environment. Think about what we can do right here. So with that, like I said, Andrew and I have our eye on a few of you. We're going to come talk to you. But what we hope this did is inspired you, gave you some ideas. Come join us. We're just open. We're going to try to present something each quarter based on sustainability, based on environment. We would love to have all the help from you all and your ideas. So with that, thank you. We will take questions.
Thanks. Nice job, Pete and Andrea. You can sign me up for the committee. I would be more than happy to serve. Wondering, are there initial projects that you're focusing on in the first quarter, second quarter here in Muskegon?
Go for it.
We want to continue supporting the work of the Marquette Microforest, for sure. But from a project perspective, we just haven't identified it yet. My guess is that we are going to really look at those groups that are already doing things and see how we can support that. I know that it's been talked about a lot, how Rotary as a group has such a giant impact because of how big we are. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on.
The Muskegon County Commission passed a resolution, a sustainability resolution, which I created, and we got a 6-1 vote, so it got good support. And I'd love to see what the county does, collaborate with what Rotary does, and I'm also going to sign up.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Last question. I don't know if there is one. Dave, I thought you had a question.
Eric stole mine.
Oh.
Thank you for providing the leadership. There are many of us that are going to join you. I want for my year going forward in 2025. So thank you very much for your leadership, and we're going to go in your directions.
Thank you. I think there was one more.
This is just a brief plug since you mentioned Anderson Woods Nature Conservancy. Disability Network West Michigan is doing an accessible birding event at Anderson Woods Nature Preserve next Thursday, September 12th from 6 to 7. Come out, bring your family. You can find more information on their website at naturenearby.org.
Where is it at?
Anderson Woods. Where is that?
Yeah. Fruitland Township. Brad, do you know what road it is? Is it on Seminole?
It's on Seminole.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Very well done. This is going to be a great group, and I'm excited about it going forward. At this time, birthday slide. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention the shelter box, that it's a partnership between the Rotary International and Shelter Box, and they're both working diligently, and it's one of the major efforts of Rotary International is disaster relief. Shelter Box provides temporary housing for the folks that don't have housing, and it's a great organization. And so for those that present and speak to us, we want to let them know that we have made a contribution to Shelter Box as in your behalf as an honorarium. So thank you very much. Birthdays. Darwin Smith on September 5, John Snyder and Kim Nikisen on September the 6th. Happy birthday. Not sure if we have any of them in the house, but we're going to sing happy birthday. Oh, John, I'm sorry. Didn't see you in the back. Apologies. So, for John and anybody else that has a birthday this week, let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is our spotlight video for Rotarians in Action. Today we are spotlighting the Rotary International Youth Exchange Program, which we participate in, as you all know. We will be hearing from Amy Seymour's son, Braden Johnson, who will talk about his experience in 2018 in the Rotary Exchange Program in France and his appreciation for the experience.
My name's Braden Johnson. I'm from Mtg, Michigan. I grew up there just about until I was 17, until I went away on a Rotary Youth Exchange Program to Chantilly, France. One day, I was walking down the stairs, and right when I got to the bottom of the stairs, my mom kind of turned and looked at me as she was reading the newspaper, and there was this little section about this girl. She had gone to Poland on an exchange year. My mom kind of saw, she went to Poland through Rotary. This year was huge for her, and it was an amazing opportunity to see the world and kind of get out of the bubble of West Michigan, which you come to learn is a pretty good bubble to be from. But just in that year alone, there was an exponential growth in character, in perseverance, and being comfortable with being uncomfortable. That 1 year alone kind of catapulted me into the person that I am today. I think it made me a more spontaneous person. It helped me grow into someone who has no difficulty, I guess not no difficulty, but less difficulty traveling and connecting with people. To all of the Rotaries all around the world, particularly the Mtg Whitehall Rotary Club and the Chantilly Rotary Club in France, thank you for all of the opportunities, all of the kind words, the encouraging words, the help along the way of learning French, my host families, and all the exchange students that I've met along the way. Thank you. Thank you for everything. I would not be where I am in my life today without you.
So thank you so much for those people that are directly involved in our youth exchange program, both with the outbounds and the inbounds. Just a tremendous amount of effort, a small group at the core of it, but a lot of you are out there supporting our youth exchange program, and we really sincerely appreciate your efforts. At this time, we're going to make some announcements. We have a few people who've, we're going to provide some time. If you would come forward, we'll do a couple announcements while they're coming forward. There's Rewind tonight, 5:15 at Unruly. As was mentioned earlier, United Way Day of Caring at the Microforest. I asked John Knowling if you know that there's going to be a breakfast ahead of time, but if you want to go directly to the Microforest, do that about 9 o'clock in the morning, and it may go till noon, but probably will get done before that. Christy?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Christine Agas, the treasurer for our Rotary Club, and I just wanted to give a brief update on the new membership dues payment process. You would have gotten an email on Tuesday from Kim, and it gave you an option now to pay with a direct debit to your bank, an ACH debit. So if anyone is interested in that hasn't already replied, because we've had a lot of great response, let me know. I'm sitting up here. I can answer any questions you might have if you want to know more about it or get some information or sign up. I'd be happy to help you. Thank you very much. And for anybody that did respond, I'll get to you. I just have a lot of emails, so soon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. Dave Alexander on behalf of the Harvest Fest Committee. I want to talk a little bit about volunteering for Harvest Fest. We have people working right now, but day of would also be very beneficial. And I believe that QR code will get us to the volunteer opportunities we have. Did you know that volunteering for one shift, and if you want to stay to enjoy the event, you get $40 off of your ticket price. And thanks to Carla being able to fix that up in our Eventbrite operations, that will be able to get you on your way and to volunteer and then to enjoy a part of the evening also. Opportunities include bartending, selling raffle tickets, setup, cleanup, silent auction tables, and more. Scan the QR code up here to learn more. October 24th is our date, 5 to 8. There are new flyers. Thank you, Cece. I think this is your work. Thank you very much for assisting us. We will have some more posters for these coming up next week. It's at the Culinary Institute of Michigan here in Muskegon. Please get your tickets, and if you still have a sponsorship availability, either Roger Morgenstern, Carla Flanders, there you are, or myself can help you with that. Thank you.
Oh. Tim, go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Tim Lipan today representing the Social Committee again. Special thank you to those folks who attended our social event yesterday at Adelaide Point. Hopefully you got to socialize, which is part of the point, but also we hope you found the remarks that were made very interesting. So thank you for attending. Our next event is coming up, and I need to share that with you. But first, the charge to our committee is to create events where we have an opportunity to socialize outside of the regular meeting. The 15 minutes you get here, we want to give you a little more time to network and socialize. It's also to showcase organizations and businesses and cool things in Muskegon. Adelaide Point's brand new. We did Indigo, you may remember, a new business as well. Some of you are still chuckling about that. That makes sense, I guess. Sorry. But also is to provide a variety of different activities that will appeal to the broad base of Rotary. And so our next event is geared towards families, kids, grandkids, that kind of thing. And we'd love to have you come. The quick details are, it is a Sunday fun day at the Muskegon Luge Adventure Sports Park. It's on September 22nd. It's from 3:30 to 7. All Rotarians, families, Interact, Rotaract, whatever act there is, you're all invited. There's going to be a picnic dinner there, water and soft drinks for free. You can bring your own adult beverages. You can tour the grounds. There's going to be hiking. Also available will be the opportunity to do the adventure package, which includes things like climbing the rock climbing wall. The zip line will be open. There's a fee for that, but all the details will be on our Facebook event page and also maybe in Sign Up Genius and the RIM if we can get her done. Okay? Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. A reminder, the new member Coffee Connect will be taking place Friday, September the 20th at 8 a.m. at the Lakeshore Museum. It's a great experience. I've been in a number of their events. Please consider that. Reminder on the Youth Exchange auction, you can contact Craig Parada on the possibility of picking something up, but we're running out of time. That needs to be done by tomorrow. Rewind is holding its highway pickup in the morning of Saturday, September the 28th. Please arrive by 8:45 in the morning, and it will take no longer than 11 o'clock. So more details will follow on that. And the last one is the Muskegon Rising's episode number 35 is out, and the topic is the Consumer Energy Center, which we talked about, had a program just a short while ago on that. So at this time, we'll call on Ed Hendrickson to do the wrap. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Brianna's video, we jumped over that.
Greetings, Rotarians. My name is Brianna Scott, and I have the distinct honor and privilege to serve as your District 6290 District Governor for the 2024-25 Rotary year. I am excited to announce that we will be hosting this year's district conference in the beautiful lakeshore community of Muskegon, Michigan on October 18, 19, and 20, and I am looking forward to telling you more about what you can expect. This year, we are doing it in the fall, and I know that that's different, right? But we're going to challenge each other to do things and think differently this year, hoping to have greater results in our district. So this year, we're going to start off the district conference with Friday night's distinguished guest, Chris Estienne, who will be speaking as the keynote at the District Foundation Gala. You will get to hear all of the great and remarkable things going on due to the Rotary Foundation, and hopefully will be inspired to give more to it. And then on Saturday morning, we will have our Fall Training Summit. That will be led by District Governor-elect Mark Andreski. And in that, you will have the opportunity to be involved in various breakouts to learn more about what Rotary has to offer and the leadership that you can take on and helping you to be more successful in your clubs and beyond. We will then on Saturday afternoon have an opportunity to get to know each other even better by doing a hands-on community service project in Muskegon. That's going to be fun, folks, and it's our great way and privilege of giving back to this community. And then Saturday night, we are going to kick off the district conference itself with world-renowned, internationally acclaimed magician Franz Harari, who will act not just as our magician for the night, creating magic, but he will also inspire us with his keynote address. I'm so looking forward to it because it will also offer an opportunity for me to acknowledge all of the great things that our clubs are doing. You've heard it here, folks. I've been telling your club presidents to submit videos, 1 to 2 minutes each, so that we can acknowledge the great work each of you are doing in our district. And it is my hope to be able to acknowledge those and perhaps give awards to some of those clubs on the evening of the district conference. We will then end the evening having music and dancing. You know, we like to have fun in Rotary, right? And then on Saturday morning, we are going to have an opportunity to learn more about Rotary, playing Rotary games. We'll also have business that we have to take care of and to memorialize those Rotarians who we've lost in the past year. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for us all to fellowship one with the other, to get to know each other and what we are doing all across District 6290, and to inspire us to be the best that we can so that we continue to create magic in our wonderful district. I am looking forward to seeing you all. I am excited to host you all in Muskegon, Michigan for the district conference, the district gala Friday night, the district fall training summit Saturday morning, the district community service project on Saturday afternoon, and the district conference that will start on the evening of Saturday going into Sunday. And we'll have you on your way by 12 o'clock. Hope to see you there October 18th, 19th, and 20th. And let's create magic.
She's pretty good, isn't she? I've been sitting in on the planning conference Zooms, and I might get this wrong, so a couple of you might correct me. But what's interesting about the event with the magician, this guy is really, really talented. And my understanding, I think it's correct, is that he toured with Michael Jackson, and the ticket to have him come in and do something is huge. I won't give you the numbers, but they're huge. And he's agreed to do it as a special, at a special, very special rate because of some connection that he had with a Rotarian that got him on his way. So please consider that. I think it's a great reason to come out for the entertainment that's going to be provided. So. To register, please go to the District 6290 website for the 3 individual events, the gala, the training, and district conference that she just mentioned. And if you sign up for all 3 of the events, you get a discount. You'll receive a discount by going to all 3. So please consider it. She's one of us. You can't say that it's going to be a long drive for you because you just have to do, all you have to do is come downtown where you come once a week. So please support her. She's doing great work, and we need to show our support there. So then next is the raffle with Ed. Oh, somebody else is taking care of it. I'm sorry. Mary Beth, thank you, Mary Beth. $5. $332. Okay. Oh, Annette. $10. 314. Ooh, you across the room. $358 for $20. $358. Oh. You've got some fans out there, Gene. Okay, next week's program will be the top 10 takeaways from our monthly Rotary orientation. I sit down in a lot of those presentations, and members who come in oftentimes say, gee, I didn't realize that you talk about all this information that's in the orientation. So I encourage you to attend next week, do the Sign Up Genius, and you can get reoriented to Muskegon Rotary. With that, let's please rise to recite the 4-way tests. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill or better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Well, thank you very much for your attendance, and we'll see you next week. Here You're a lifesaver, Mike.